So there's a little known defense company that recently secured a contract of more than $200 million, yet the entire company still has a market cap of around 60 to 70 million. So what's missing in this company? Well, this is CTM, or company Castellum Inc. They've been accelerating their growth through cybersecurity and mission critical defense solutions. And they're definitely a smaller company, and a lot of companies aren't getting attention. Even the larger small companies aren't getting attention because of the SpaceX IPO, because of some allocation where some of the Mag 7 companies have been oversold, whether it's photonics, the space tech, the data center markets, the robotics markets, the AI markets. There's a lot of other markets to focus on. So sometimes these companies just don't get attention. That's totally fine. I've been holding this company for over a year now, and you can watch our coverage on it as we started covering it around 70 or 80 cents a share, and I hold it around 87 cents. We've seen this stock surge tremendously up and down recently. In our market open session, we were just there yesterday, and we saw that they were up to $1.32 at one point from this 65-cent range. So the volatility is extreme. You see them jumping basically 100% in one day. And if you ever want to watch our entries and exits or join us in those daily live trading sessions, we'd love to see you there. It's the second link in the description below to tune on in. You also get a free t-shirt. So what we're watching here with CTM, as they have found this support level, what seems to be around 60 cents, and some of the targets seem to be up here around this $1.30 range, which would be over a 100% gain from here. Let's talk about why the company is not really getting attention, but also why they should most likely see more attention. Also, we've had a tremendous amount of new subscribers over the last few months, and we've only been doing this for just a little bit over a year here on YouTube. So I really appreciate you all. Make sure to subscribe. Also, I've got terrible spring allergies right now, so hopefully we're still as consistent as we'd like to be. Still looking to get the daily uploads out for you all, and I appreciate you all, and thanks for subscribing to the channel. First of all, one of the things that oftentimes I believe at least is going to negatively contribute to the company's doing well is that most investors today, they aren't simply looking at the financials. That's the reason we see companies like Palantir trade to 121 price to sales, 121x. Or you could see SpaceX right now trading at around 95x price to sales. So still on that note, SpaceX hasn't really pumped to levels of the unicorn Palantir that we saw in 2025. But this company is not really comparable to Palantir. It's not really comparable to major defense companies. I believe I'm going to have the ability to talk with the CEO fairly soon, and we're going to get some more insight into this company. And while their site isn't very nice, there are some things that have been very solid. And that's what we're going to look at here, which is their actual integrity of their news and their financials. So there's 3 steps we go through when analyzing a good or bad deal in the stock market. We go through the market, we go through the analysis, and then the profit potential or the risk to reward, if it even makes sense to do the deal. When we're looking at Castellum Inc., we can start with the market. They're in the cybersecurity market. They do work with agentic AI. They seem to be working primarily with the Navy. They have some defense contracts, and they just recently signed this new max structure or MAC, multiple award contract, that is part of the IDIQ, which is essentially contracts that may or may not have any ceiling value, but they're projecting the total maximum value of this recent contract to be at $250 million. And in this contract, it says they announced it's a joint venture between CTM and logistics, IT integration, and support. In general, when we're looking at this deal here, I'm not sure the entirety of the contract of how much they'll fully end up netting from this deal. But you can see the president CEO there, Glenn Ives, said, securing a position on a vehicle deepens our already strong relationship with the United States Navy and adds a multi-year pipeline of task orders. It seems like this is minimum going to be a couple $100 million, or at least $100 million for them. So when we look at the other deals that they've actually secured, so market of defense, there's a lot of money, more money than we could even expect being sent out into this defense market. They recently signed a $50 million deal back in January. If you go to 2025, before January into December, they had some deals. They got a $66 million deal there in October. So their current pipeline, there's a few other ones. They signed a $160 million deal earlier than that, and some other smaller deals. There are $103 million there. And so overall, they have nearly $300 million in their contracts that they've recently signed related to defense. And so one thing, while their site isn't maybe the most prettiest, and you don't see anything super flashy on their site, they are seeing demand from the government, and they're also seeing a tremendous amount of capital coming in. So what does that mean in the future? Well, if we take a look at Prophecy is what we developed as a tool for you to use the top AI models in the world, paired with the best financial data in the world, to see projections on any stocks. So I'm going to go view in here, and I'm going to search up CTM right now. Let's get a look at what's going on. We're going to go into the multi-model view, and I'm going to look at the financials here. So if you look at the balance sheet, annually, they have seen their liabilities drop significantly. They at one point were around 17 or 18 million in liabilities, but towards this last quarter, they've dropped their liabilities to now just 5.6 million, while their assets have actually continued to rally, and their assets are now, as of the last quarter, up to about $41 million. And you can see they're even cutting down their liabilities. They sold some of the assets, they dropped some of their liabilities, but in general, they're sitting with about 36 million in equity. So 36 million in equity. Their income right now is at around $15 million per quarter, sometimes positive net income, sometimes negative, but it's hovering right around even. And their revenue per year seems to be on track to be around about $60 million for 2026 or more. Now that's just comparing to previous years, but with these recent deals, we've never seen them come out with these types of deals where they have hundreds of millions of dollars now and 250 million as of yesterday, to be able to see their financials potentially do much, much better than that. You see, if they have these 3 and 5 year deals that are over $300 million, their income statement, most likely we would see their revenues jump to 300 million a year, or maybe less than that. It might be 150 million or 100 million a year, would still be drastically about 40% higher than where they're currently at. But with that, their revenue is operating, if they're doing 60 million plus their 36 million in equity, I mean, they're technically already over $100 million between their assets and their income, which by the principles of Benjamin Graham, who is the mentor, or was the mentor for Warren Buffett, was their main focus is that his main thing is, are their liabilities less than their assets, and that their assets are, when combined with the annual revenues, greater than that of their current market cap. And if that's the case, then they look like an undervalued company. And so if you look at CTM right now, they have only a $67 million market cap. That's tiny. In fact, a lot of projections here from a lot of these models, which these models vary widely. They're not all going to be projecting the same, but based on the next year, there isn't really any models that aren't bullish into the next year, given their fundamentals, considering that they should be over $1 a share or more, and it's pretty volatile into some of the timeframes into the next day or so, because it's just a really volatile stock. And I would urge caution on anybody watching this, because again, it's such a small market cap that even if this thing were to, sure, institutions, they put $100 million into something, that's chump change. There could be $1 billion that were to influx. This thing would like 20x. But if you had, let's say, even a $5 million sell right now, that's going to be like an 8% drop. So you have a lot of Vanguard has been investing in them. You do have the total shares slightly more bearish into the last quarter. On the insiders, when looking at the COO and then CEO here, they're slightly bearish as well. Or the insiders are slightly bearish. The institutions are not massively bearish, but you do see a few insider sells and institutional sells. But then most recently, you got Vanguard buying. It seems that there has been some buys from Vanguard along with Edward Jones and Bank of America purchasing shares. So, as they're approaching the 70-cent support level that they're at right now, there's a very strong kind of level where they're looking to find support around the $65 range with targets up into that $1.40 range, which again is about a 100% increase. But with those things in mind, you have tremendous volatility. It might even look crazy to see them surge from that 25-cent level to up to $2.80 that we saw back here in 2025 in January. But believe it or not, in those moves, you're actually only looking at around $200 million market cap in change. That is not a very big move for this company at all from an investment standpoint. So my point is that if you were to look at the financials only, it looks like it's very undervalued. And if you were to look at their income and their balance sheet looking very healthy with more assets than liabilities, it looks healthy as well. And their current market cap is very low. Now, I do hold this company. I hold around 87 cents, so I'm currently down slightly, although it did touch those levels in the last day. I'm looking for this move up to about $1.40. So as we went through the market that they're in, a lot of spending in defense, get into the analysis. Again, you're looking at the technicals where you got this support level here around about 60 cents with near support at 70. And then you look at the financials. Financials indicate that the company is oversold. And the current technicals, if you were to look at this chart as well, it seems that there is some bearish momentum as it pushed below that 200-day moving average, but so did most stocks in the defense market. You look at Palantir, they've sold off in the same degree from $207 a share to now down to $130 a share. If you look at companies like Big Bear AI, they were up to $9 and they're now down to about $4 a share. And so most defense companies have recently sold down, although there's been more spending. And I believe we're going to see the defense financials surprise over the next few quarters, as it's been right in front of us that all of them seem to be getting more contracts, with the exception of Big Bear. Didn't see too many contracts there. So when it comes to CTM, again, the risk to reward, if you're looking at this level here, short-term trade, I would advise anybody that is going to be taking trades to simply exercise caution. And I wouldn't encourage you to buy or sell, but I would encourage you to, if you're taking any short-term trades, just to exercise extra caution, as anybody would say that is in their right mind looking at the stock, as they are at only $67 million market cap. The cool part about this stock is that the market cap is almost always the same as their cents. So if they're 88 cents, they're right around $88 million market cap. It's kind of a cool thing that happens with this company. But if you look at them currently, again, targets up there, 90% upside. That's why I continue to hold them. If you get into any short-term trades, the risk to reward, again, watching that near support around 65 and 70. They break below there into below 60. Things do not look good. That would be a 12% sell down. If they look more bullish, they're going to break above about 80 cents and hold above 80 cents with the next target up to about $1.35, which again is barely any influx of capital. You're not looking at very much capital to make these moves. Even a couple $100 million would put this stock into $2 to $3 to $5 a share. And again, I'm not here to pump it or anything like that. I'm just sharing with you guys how I kind of view the stock and why I continue to hold it. It's because they have really good integrity on the financials and they continue to be extremely low price. And I might even consider buying some more if they hang out around this price for too much longer. The only other stocks that I'm buying right now is in the photonics market, the data center companies, and then allocating more into some of the space tech. And haven't bought quantum lately, but will be watching there. If you want to stay up to date with the top AI markets, semiconductors, robotics as well, make sure to subscribe. If you want to tune on in and you'd like to see if the opportunity presents itself to trade this stock at market open, would love to see you there at 6:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're there every day, Monday through Friday. So it is early, but if you would like to join us there, watch my entries and my exits. It's going to be the second link in the description below to tune on in Fired your thumbs up, hit the like button, do consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.